more research, I thought, well, what would our staffing level have to be if we didn't cover any towns in the county? So I looked at a few different counties. O'Brien County is one of the closest ones. They have 6 deputies on patrol, civil deputy, chief deputy, and sheriff, so 9 total. So, okay, that's a pretty good comparison for us, because the only town they contract with is Primgar, because that's where they're at. So if we apply that here and said we have 6 deputies for that, that leaves 4 additional positions. 2 of those are paid for by Rock Rapids. So that leaves 2, which would be split by the other towns. So that's what I sent in the second letter. That then, if you divide it out per capita by the population of those towns, ends up ballpark around that $65 a person. That's still a pretty big increase from 27 where it is currently. So looking at that, said, well, if we tier this in, I found, I think it's Grinnell, which is in Polk County. They tiered it in over time, over like a 5-year period. I forget exactly. So I thought, well, if we apply that here over a 5-year period, it would start at 60% of that. And then of course we would adjust 70, 80, 90, etc. The total cost right now would be basically $65 a person if it were full cost. It would bring it down to what, 30 something, 39.21 if it were 60%, and then of course next year 70, 80, 90, 100. To put that in comparison, if you look at others in the area, Osceola County ranges from like 110 to 140-ish. Ashton pays $40-some thousand a year. If you look at Sioux County, Boyden, for example, has a population of around 700. They pay $102,000 a year. So we're still, even at that full price, we're still significantly less. Now there is some difference there, I think, that's worth pointing out. And that being that realistically, we're providing overall, I think I would say, a fairly minimal coverage. If you look statistically across at what police coverage is, it varies depending on how rural you are, but 1-to-1, meaning 1 police officer per 1,000 residents, is, some would say, is a rule of thumb. Some places it's 2-to-1, some 3-to-1, etc. Most of the Midwest, I think, is more of a 2-to-1. So we're operating right now, if that's the case, if you're paying for 2 with all the towns, we're operating at 1 officer per 2,000 people, 2,200 and change, which is a pretty minimal level. So, you know, if towns wanted to see a lot more proactive patrol presence, that's something that could be provided, but of course that comes at a cost. I don't think it's a bad idea, but like I said, it comes at a cost. So that's kind of how we came up with the number. We're not trying to, you know, come in and blow the doors off, but at the same token, we're not making a profit. We're not a business that's out, you know, saying here's a bid for a job with 50% margin. You know, that's just our cost. Our deputies cost $65 an hour for their wages and benefits. The cost of vehicles, uniforms, gas is all coming out of the general fund already. So what comes out of rural services, where patrol deputies pay, benefits, that comes to $65 an hour. So it's just cost. And I sent, I think maybe as well, you probably got it. You sent that whole like list of all the calls for every town out?
I did. Did you guys get that? Forwarded it.
And so we now, since around March, basically when deputies go into a town or we assign a call in the town, based on the city limits and the address, it's all in the system. If they just tap they're in the town, it logs patrol time or traffic stop or whatever. So that's this. It's not going to be 100% accurate in the aspect that sometimes they forget to put themselves in town. Sometimes they might get a few miles out, but it should average out. And so if we took our costs of $65 an hour, we put in 6 months from June 1 to November 30th, 305.1 hours. That's $19,831.50 worth of cost. And right now, I'd have to do the math in front of me to see exactly what you're paying, but I want to say it's like 25,000 or something along those lines.
$25,056.
There you go. Pretty close. So realistically, we've probably after December eaten up the cost. And from there, it's kind of pro bono at this point the rest of the year.
What other comments, questions do you guys have? Any?
I guess my question is, I like the numbers part of stuff.
Mhm.
How did a budget triple in 1 year?
It did.
But it has, because that's what you basically came back saying, if we were funding it, it needs to be this. I have no clue, I'm just trying to figure out, and I understand how you're trying to implement it slowly, but it went from this to this. I'm just
From what
curious,
to what?
basically, if I got it right, you said it went from $27 to 65.
Yeah, so 27 never covered any cost, never covered cost.
So where was that coming out, the general fund then?
No, the rural taxpayers were paying it. So basically, you were getting the service off the backs of all the people who live in the rural areas. And frankly, that, you could speak to this, maybe that caused a deficit actually in rural services fund.
But why is rural, why are the people in the country so much higher?
The way it was left for years. So to give an example, over 13 years, which
So if
I,
you go up in the city, are we gonna go down?
that's up to you, or your assessor. Over 13 years, when I looked at data, I was able to find 13 years. Was it 13 or 10? I want to say it was 10. Cost of wages, benefits, insurance, and such has went up 53.5%. I made it 52.5, 53.5. The cost of the contract went up like 12.5 to 13%. So it just never kept up. When you look at what a 50-cent increase every 2 years is, it's a pretty minuscule percentage, and inflation some years was 7-8%. So our budget didn't triple. Our budget went up significantly with wages over time, as most do, but it was just not ever, never really covering the cost of the service provided, and it probably hasn't been for, well, I looked at numbers as far back as like 12, 13 years, and it never covered the share of the cost.
What was the standard raise? Like, was it 50 cents
50 cents every 2 years. It was-
so a buck every 2 years?
No, 50 cents every 2 years.
25
Oh.
cents a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, so for 2 years it stayed the same, and then it went up 50 cents, and then stayed that way for 2 years and went up 50 cents.
Well, I can see where it probably hasn't been keeping up, but what is your 5-year deal? What, do you want to go to 65 right now, or do you want to do that in 5 years?
No, that'd be over the 5 years. So right now it would cover, what I'm proposing would actually cover 60% of our costs. In essence, the county picks up the rest of it. And then next year, the towns would cover 70% collectively. The county in essence picks up 30. Until at the 5-year point, the cities are covering the actual costs of 2Ws.
I guess I would be more for, do a year at 30 something and see how it works. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm talking, but
You're on the board, so go ahead. Whatever.
otherwise if we do this 65, let's just say we do that. then you do this step for 5 years. The first year is, what'd you say, 35?
30.
Whatever, let's just go 35. And then we're like, okay, I don't think anything's changed. We're stuck in your deal. See, I would sort of just let's do it for a year at 30 something and see how it works. Or maybe 2 years. And see if because otherwise you start these programs, then let's say nothing changes and things get worse, and then we're still stuck in your program.
Yeah, I think the purpose of the 5 years, I think every year it has to be negotiated. We can put a contract in place for a year, 2 years, whatever. But I think there needs to be a path that cities and such can budget on and plan for what their costs will be. Because realistically, like this year, like I said, by the end of December, any services being provided here in town are being paid for by other taxpayers. So it's not that, okay, if we increase it to, I'm just gonna make a number up. If instead of 35, it's 50, that's not like we're going out being able to hire another deputy and we're gonna be able to provide an additional 20 hours a month. We track all the time. We're still operating at a loss, basically. If we were a business, we're operating in the red. So it just kind of is what it is, it's cost.
Yeah, this will, just make sure I understand that the increase, whether it's upfront right now or over the 5-year installment, is essentially just catching us up.
It's just getting up to what it actually
So it's not
costs.
buying any more services, it's just getting us to where we're supposed to be for the cost of your staff.
And if we took just our call time, for example, in town, I ran this number at one point, and I don't know if it might have changed depending on what calls were last month, et cetera. If all we did was take calls, and as a result of that call, looking at it, we didn't drive through, do any proactive things, we weren't at any 4th of July, any of the events in that, our cost is over $10,000 a year. And that's just responding to medical calls, 911s, those types of things in town. Nothing proactive. So, yeah.
Are you short deputies? You need more deputies or no?
Well, so if you want to know my honest answer, I think we should have more, but I don't think the board necessarily will fund more. And I base that on, if you look at a lot of areas and you look at the amount of area that we have to cover with no other police. So I'll give you an example. If you look at O'Brien County, Sioux County, et cetera, they can get by with having a shift that has fewer deputies, say, on it, because if they have a call, say down in Morris, Sioux Center can send somebody, Orange City can send somebody, their deputy can go, they could still get 3 people there. We don't have that. We don't have any other departments, any other cities that we can rely on that are gonna come up. Now, Rock Valley sometimes does come up, actually, the Lyon County help. Sioux County came up to George and helped us the other day, but we just don't have that we can rely on. So when you look and say, okay, on a Friday night in Lyon County in the summer, and oftentimes it's not uncommon that we have 2 cars out, you have 1 call in the county, you're stuck, you're tied up. And it's not uncommon, say we end up over here, we end up out at the casino, we end up Larchwood, wherever. Now we're 20 minutes from the other side of the county if there's a call there. So could we have more staff? Oh, yeah, easily. And I think most policing measures, there's various police staffing calculations. Most would say we probably need another couple. But we have what we have, so.
Like state troopers, did they have anything in connection with you guys? Do you work with each other? How is that?
Yeah, they help us when they're around. it's just, so if we know, for example, sometimes that well, like 4th of July, or if we know that somebody called in sick, we'll often reach out to them and say, hey, can one of you work in the area tonight? We're a little short-staffed, or whatever the case may be. And they're good about that, but we can't really plan around them in the aspect that they cover the district here, goes all the way from here over to an hour past the lakes. So it's not uncommon that, they're half hour, 40 minutes away either. So if we can, we like trying to, get one of them to work the area, especially on those weekends and stuff to help out. And they're good about it, but they're not like a city officer that in Sioux County, for example, Orange City, Haywarden, Sioux Center are gonna have somebody on 24 hours a day. So if you have a call in Morris, that you can scramble a couple people from other towns to get to. We don't have that luxury. And the state troopers here don't work past midnight unless they're on a call when it brings them past. So after midnight, nothing.
Rock Rapids has 2 at all times.
They pay for 80 hours a week. So
Oh,
basically 2 full-time people. Yeah. Yeah, we have one person overnight from 3:00 a.m. until 6 a.m. We only have one in the whole county. If we have something else happen, we have to call people out.
Any other questions you guys have? Comments, thoughts?
I'm kind of curious. I heard the casino gets a lot of calls. Are they assessed more for being, is there no way that you guys could
No.
try to get more tax revenue from the casino for that part? But they are taking up more time?
But we can maybe speak to that with property taxes and this stuff.
Well, that's in court.
So I'll just leave that with the board, but, so I would say that it's, I'll just say how I see it. I think it's unfortunate that things happen the way they did historically with racing and gaming. So if you back up when the casino started, which was 15 years ago now almost, I think their 15-year anniversary is this year. They were required by the Racing and Gaming Commission to pay for DCI to have special agents out there around the clock, 24/7. So they had 2 types of special agents, and they had some they called game enforcement officers or GEOs, and they had some that were special agents. The special agents did the regulatory background stuff, any of the more complex investigations, and the game enforcement officers were considered frontline policing. They were 24 hours a day. So if there was a call out there, that was their baby. They had to pay for that. So they paid the Racing and Gaming Commission, the Racing and Gaming Commission paid the DPS paid those people. It was probably 10 years ago, maybe now, I don't know, time flies, but they lobbied to change that.
Who's
And
they?
the casinos as a whole
Okay,
lobbied to change it, and they convinced the Racing and Gaming Commission and such to change the requirement so that they're no longer have 24-hour coverage from the DCI. So, and they reduced the number. So it used to be, I want to say there was 3 game enforcement officers and 2 special agents out there. Now they have 2 special agents out there. They have 3 at full staff, but they're at 2 now, and they have been for probably 9 months. And they haven't posted that opening yet. So during the normal business hours, there's a decent chance that one of them is there. But that all depends on if they're overseas doing a background on some investor in the casino, which is not uncommon. That's what they're doing. So we had a domestic there the other morning. We were on the way there trying to call, see if we could get one of the DCI agents to respond. But ultimately we can't count on them. And it's no slight against them. It's just the fact that they might be in Des Moines, they might be over here. We just don't know. And after business hours, there's nothing besides us. So I say it's unfortunate because when it started, they legally had to pay for 24-hour coverage because they paid through Racing and Gaming for it. And then they basically got away from paying that, but the law didn't say, well, now you gotta pay the county extra money because the deputies are gonna handle those calls. You just end up having to handle them. So I was doing some research in the last while. There's a lot of facilities in the Miller metro areas where they pay off duty officers through the police department, but they pay them overtime to be there at least during the weekends or the busier hours. But so that's something that may be approached here, but I can't force them to say yes. And so I wouldn't hold my breath on it, I guess.
What would you say the percentage of calls are out there from all the calls?
Yeah, so I could pull that number. I don't have it here. So we created, around that same time in March, we created a separate zone in our CAD system just for the casinos, so that over time I could look and track that. It would be speculation for me to say at what percentage. I would say though that I guess it's not uncommon and they end up taking a lot of time when we do go there. And I say that based on this. The casino doesn't call us for things that they deem minor. They like taking care of it themselves, getting a taxi for somebody, whatever the case, because the more money that keeps flowing, the better for them. So usually we only get called by casino staff if it's something that definitely needs law enforcement attention. If it's something on the edge, we're probably not getting called. So. But I can easily get that number, at least from March or so on.
This is really helpful.
Yeah. Yep.
Any other thoughts, comments, questions for these guys?
Well, if you do have any, you have my email
I do.
and my cell phone
I do.
and my other cell phone,
I
so
do.
reach out, let me know.
Thank you so much for coming and for your patience when we had John on the line talking to us about TIF.
Yeah, one TIF question I had, I'm not a TIF person, by the way. I don't think he addressed the amount of debt that you need. Can you just get $1 worth of debt and qualify for TIF?
You can, but then you only get $1 back in tip.
Oh, buggers. All right, if you have anything else, let me know.
Thank you guys
That's all right.
so much.
Yep. See you.
Bye. You have any thoughts you want to?
Well,
You're
I
in
just-
public. Right?
I just think, I just don't know why, I guess what I don't quite understand why you'd want to go into a 5-year plan or where it's just gonna ask, I mean, and granted, I guarantee you, they probably haven't been keeping up. I mean, I get it, but nothing's been keeping up.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
but to go from $27 to 65 or whatever, you know, I mean, but I just think you get into these deals, to me, you get into these deals where you lock in something where, you know, steps, whatever, and you just keep going. And then pretty soon you're just like, okay, well, this employee kind of sucks, but I guess we were locked into this, we still gotta keep paying. So to me, I don't know why how long's the system we've had been going on?
As long as-
Probably forever.
Yeah, as long as.
Now all of a sudden, we're gonna change it all in 5 years, we're gonna go triplet. That's the part I'm looking at, like, I don't quite get that part.
So what was his reasoning? What did he say?
Because they ain't keeping up.
But I mean, why it had to be over like 5 years, he said something about our budget.
Gradually increase up to $65 per capita
It
over
would-
5 years.
They are doing that to try to help the cities.
So the budget.
So that, yeah, so it's not such a giant leap.
Right.
I don't quite understand why rural people like me is that high. Why are we that high? I think we're close to 130 or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can't remember the last time I seen a cop right past my place. which is good. I mean,
Right.
I'm not bitching.
Yeah,
But, I mean, they don't police I don't think they police, I don't quite get why the rural people are so high, but they are.
Mhm.
But I would be more for, let's catch up a little and see how it goes. I guess, I don't know if I'm all that whole. We got some other issues we got to deal with, you know. They just want more money.
yeah,
It's just like everything else, county ain't got any money either, so,
yeah.
but, you know.
Yeah, the mayors and I all got together.
But see, that's all on you, right? It's all, the city deals about the mayor.
Mhm. We all got together and had a conversation about it and
When do they wanna know how so?
didn't really give us a timeline in the letter that they sent
But what
out.
would happen if you just go, I'm not saying you should, but just say, okay, let's just leave it like it is.
That's what I kind of forgot to ask you. If we don't agree to it, they just gonna patrol us? Or not at all?
Fire a deputy, I don't know, I mean, I have no idea, see, I don't quite get that, this just came up, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden it's gonna get expensive.
Mhm. There's not, I mean, from the conversations that I had with him, it's not, like, we are not required to change our contract agreement and what we pay. At the same time, like, public safety is very important,
Yeah.
and having adequate coverage in our community is important. So I don't know what the ramifications would look like. I don't, you know what I mean? Especially if our sister communities do agree to cover it, right?
Well,
And
I just about to guess Elworth's not gonna, because
Right.
they actually didn't even they opted out of police protection
yeah,
for a few years, so I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be about it, but I gotta go to their meeting too, so.
yeah. But,
I'm just, that's just what I think. I think you should look at something more 27, 35, maybe 30, I don't know, and then just see how it goes for a year or so. And
Carol, is our contract up this year, this coming year, or do we are we another year in?
No, it'll be July of
This-
26th.
This summer's went over.
So then the
That's
next
why-
one,
Having the conversation now.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
so the next one would be July of 28, is it every 2 years?
Yes.
mhm,
But see, that's not what he's proposing 60% now, or $39.21.
starting in
this
July.
summer. And then that would be 60%, then 70% next year, 80, 90, and 100.
But see, that's the part I don't quite understand, because you renew the contracts every 2 years.
Yeah.
Now, he wants to do it every year, get 5 years, yeah, I'd be more not for doing that, but.
He just write it into the contract, the rate each year, so it would be written in, but you would renew every 2 years.
But he's stepping it every year, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, I don't think I don't think I would, but yes, I would.
But no additional coverage.
Yes,
Coverage stays the same, it
Coverage.
does not get better, even though our rate might triple.
correct. This is not an increase of services. This is a catching up we're getting free services.
We're not getting free, we're paying.
I mean, but for the hours though, we are essentially,
Yeah, we're getting very cheap services, you might say,
yeah.
for the services of it.
But do you have a lot of, do you have a lot of citizens that are here and go, oh man, this is a mess and we need more police protection? You have people calling you every day going, oh, it's bad.
No, and when he ran the numbers, the data, because Jordan had wanted to see, you know, how often they were in town, how many calls we had and things like that. He had said like it was like 300 and some hours in total from summer until now.
Yeah, like 311 or something.
Yeah. And he said it ebbs.
311 what? Hours?
Hours
Just in town
in
here?
town.
For,
For calls, and he referenced.
no, but how, what time period?
6 months. And he said the ebbs and flows, because we asked him like, you know, is that a typical thing? And he said that was when he referenced his new software that they started where they could track stuff. But he said that ebbs and flows because you might go for a long time with very few issues, and then you might have stuff where there's at the daycare, or there's this, or there's that, and you're here.
But see, what, at our meetings, we also talked about like, a lot of times there could be a police car sitting at Oak Street. Okay, but it's just sitting there. It's not doing nothing. But he's also on his, what do they have, what do they call them things, laptops or whatever they're saying? And he's sitting there doing his bookwork. But he's logged into input. Yeah, I get that, because Berkey's on our board, he used to be a cop. I get that, most of the hours, what he says, a lot of the hours they do in towns, not actually doing,
Calls and stuff, yeah.
yeah, they could just be parked at the North Church and doing a lot of their paperwork, I mean, that's, but they're sitting there, they're policing.
And they're in town, if something would
Right,
go on.
They're waiting for a speeder or
Yeah,
a stop sign or whatever.
and I drove up to them, right, and talked to them, asked some questions, but they're just sitting there on their laptop doing bookwork, or hopefully they're doing bookwork. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of shocked that, well, I wonder what would happen if we just still had the current. That's, a lot of things have changed, I mean, just, everything's about the money, it seems like. I don't quite understand it. Doesn't seem like it was just all of a sudden now it's just, oh, wants more money for deputies, more money for this, more money for that, and all this deal, it's like, wow. I don't know. That's where I guess that's kind of how I feel. I'm pretty sure we're not keeping up, but yeah, I don't know if we need to jump way up there like that. I mean, if you guys want to pay more and then take some away from the rural, that'd be good. But that ain't gonna go down, because I have people that live out in rural calling me because their parents live in town or this, and then it's like, what the hell's going on here with this shit? And I gotta listen to all this. I said, well, that's up to your mayor. Put it right on you.
You're the reason I get all those phone calls.
Yeah, probably. Nothing to do with me, that's your mayor gonna decide that. The mayors are all gonna get together and
Yeah.
decide this.
Yeah. The mayors were a lot happier after the second letter came out. The first letter was really
Yeah.
difficult. And there was a lot of conversation, so the second letter helped significantly, the phased approach, and all the mayors agree, like, and I can't speak for everyone because there were 2 mayors that weren't at the meeting when we all got together, but the mayors that were in attendance said, you know, this is a service that we need to have. It is not unheard of, you know, for
Right.
the cost to rise and all the things, since it doesn't feel good by any stretch.
But I still don't quite understand why, if we're doing it every 2 years, why we can't just come up with a price now.
Yeah, and
And
talk
say-
about it again in 2
And then in
years.
2 years, we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
I don't know why we'd have to agree to
Yeah.
accept things.
Yeah. And I don't think he's been very great to communicate with, just with me.
Yeah.
He responds right away to a message, to an email. He answers every question that I have. And so I don't think that would be shut down. I think we could have a conversation about that and see what we ultimately can agree on and compromise. He's really workable.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's something that we vote on this every 2 years.
Yeah.
right? I mean, we could come up with, throw a random number out there, like, oh, we're gonna do an even 40 for the next 2 years, and then we'll vote on it in 2 years again and see where we're at, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That's an option we also have. We don't have to do the exact plan he's putting out there.
Mhm.
Cause I already did, some, or like, or you just hire your own.
No,
That would cost way more money.
way more money.
Yeah.
And we are really blessed to have an excellent deputy in
And
town
you're-
that lives here,
We're lucky you got two of them that live here.
Right.
Because actually, I'm guessing there's some towns that don't have one.
Right,
Mhm.
yep.
Because they changed all that too. It used to be you had to,
Mhm.
because I think Horseman actually,
He lived in Georgia for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he didn't want to, and they changed all that, but they might have did that when Stewart was on already, I think, and they let him live.
yep.
So, yeah, there's some towns that probably don't have a deputy that lives there. Well, that's my opinion, so.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay, yeah, see ya.
Okay. We got through, did we get through all of Jamie's report? Okay, so clerk office report, Carol.
Things are going well. Water bills are good. Keep trying to work on the, paperless billing and payment. And not finding too many grants. But we'll keep looking.
I found one for the library that I gave to Laura, and she was going to investigate it. It's the Roy J. Carver grant. So I sent that to her, just so you're aware, her library grant. I'm obsessed with finding money, and so Jen can attest, like, it's become a hobby, where I just search, I just click all the buttons to find the money, and then I send it out, and I'm like, can I get this? Can I do this? What about this? So I'm also applying for a grant for Iowa Parks and Rec to help with the shelter house. So that's due on the 12th. It's not done yet, but I'll get it done. I had to get some letters, so. Anything else, Carol?
Nope, that's it.
Anyone else have anything for Carol? All right, anything, Travis, you're up.
I'll go quick. Been working on updating, well, first of all, I got the first edition of the Inwood Connection newsletter out. Been updating some different forums. Got a new city council orientation guide done, a new snow removal towing SOP and notice done, updated the covers of the 2025 urban revitalization plans. Share those with you in email following this. Facebook followers from when I started were up 96, so that's kind of neat to see. We're at 1,667 now, so it's nice getting eyeballs on things that we're posting. As far as website updates, I would propose considering a spring overhaul design plus some updates of modules maybe in the spring. We'll have to put our heads together if we want to do that. And then kind of what we would like on that. And then I can get proposals from Jason at Cybrek, and if we go through Jason. I think overall, I've been making updates to the current website. I've slowly navigating the builder. It's kind of foreign to me, but I've slowly been making updates that I think are just better for usability. I updated the new logo on the website, added a home to the menu. On the homepage, there's some cards for business, city, community. I made those equal height just for aesthetics, updated the colors. The menu was overlapping the logo on certain screen sizes, like tablets and iPads, that sort of thing. So I fixed that, just for usability type of issues. Carol is a big help with helping me get the business directory listings updated. Across the whole website, I updated, so phone, emails, and websites are now mobile clickable. Before, none of them were clickable. Updated the aesthetics of the city information page, the staff and PDF section. Again, wanted a little bit just to look nicer, and then also different screen sizes on mobile, tablets, that sort of thing. So it just was organized better. Added the Inwood Connection page with the form and PDFs for the newsletter that people can access. The events are up to date, updated contact information on a couple pages.
Any questions or anything for Travis?
Good work.
It's fabulous. All of it. I get lots of positive feedback. So, good job.
Carol helps me a lot too. We're a good team. On top, we also got the recycle brochures stuffed and packeted out the door, so.
Sweet. Okay. Consent agenda, minutes from the December meetings, treasurer's report, list of bills.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, we'll roll right in. The community center, we had a meeting last month, and I think anyone who was in attendance, it did not feel good. It was a hard meeting because they told us that the building that we had planned was all of a sudden gonna be $6.7 to $7 million instead of the 4.5 to 5 that we were expecting. I had our architect and our construction manager at risk were there, and so there was a lot of back and forth about how we can get it back down to what we can actually afford, because we're not bonding and we're not doing all these other things. So they were going to, and the design committee pulled together to have kind of a come to Jesus about what we were willing to let go. We're not willing to let go of the gymnasium. That's a big part of this rebuild. So what other areas are we willing to sacrifice? So we pulled all that together and we sent that out. I think all of you may have been on that, or if not, I can forward it to you. But it was sent to the construction manager, the architect, and the design committee, just letting them know that this isn't possible. This isn't something that we can do, and this is what we're willing to concede. And please try to figure this out, because we don't want to delay this project. We want a building by next Christmas. And so they came back. You should have seen some emails from them, and if you haven't, let me know. I will send them out with two options. So they went down from 22,000 square feet to 19-ish thousand square feet, reducing the cost for us. We have a design meeting on Wednesday at 4:00. So if you can attend, please do. It'll be on Teams. If you want the Teams link, you can attend also virtually. It's open. It's an open meeting. But I had a phone call with Eric today at 5, and he said that he thinks we're back on track. He thinks that he had a conversation with Hugendorn and we are going to where we need to be. So we will have a firm precast cost on Wednesday. Yep, which will significantly help. And there was a little shuffling. If you see the renderings, there's a little shuffling of some things, streamlining of things, but I think we're okay.
Can you send me that?
Yeah, absolutely. I will send it out. Yes.
When did you send this?
We got it today. Yep. So I'll send it out.
There were a couple different emails.
Yep. Yep. So I'll send it out. I'll just resend it to people so you guys can see it. Yeah. And he had some wrong emails on there anyway that I had to fix. So I'll make sure it gets out to everybody. Any questions on that? Okay. And then the CAT grant, Paul sent information back, Carol, on that. But I think we'll have some new numbers on Wednesday, to be able to move to the next step, and have a better, something more realistic. So, anything from your perspective on that? Okay. From you guys, anything? We're still on track. Okay. North End, we have Lot 2, the notice of public hearing, resolution 126, the first one of the year. That's the resolution proposing the disposal of real estate to Rodrigo and Maria. They did agree, and they told everyone that they agreed to what we proposed. So I need a motion for that resolution, please.
So moved.
Can I get a second for that resolution, please?
Support.
All right, I'm gonna go down the line. Mark?
Aye.
Resolutions and ordinance require a roll call. So when she's first on the table, aye. Or no?
Jordan? Laurel?
Aye.
And Rick?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 126 carries. And that'll be at our next meeting, correct, Carol? The public hearing?
Yes.
In February. Did everyone have a chance to review the purchase agreement? Any concerns? None? None? I didn't have any either? Okay. So that doesn't get signed though until after the hearing and the vote. So, but it's good for you guys to have a chance to look at it because then we can make any changes we need to before then. So it's not delayed.
Is there a certain time frame that there has to be between?
Yes, yes. And it has to be, in the public for a set amount of time and then all the things. Which is why it's not fun for the city to own this process. You will learn. It's better for someone else to own this process. So it doesn't take so long. But we're almost done, so that's great. Chamber of Commerce, I have updates. I wrote them down because I can't remember a thing. Okay, lots 3 and 4. Paperwork is complete. Those are sold. Purchase agreements are done. Lots 6 and 7 are in the process of getting the paperwork completed. So there's an agreement. It's just not paperwork not done yet. Lot 8 has an offer on it. And that means that lot 10 is left.
This is all.
In Van Regen Mortar. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. And then there has not yet been any additions to the chamber group. Al has been in and out of the hospital. He's been very ill. And so that has not been on the radar, and that's okay. So just for everyone to know. And we are thinking of him and saying prayers for that. Anything else from you guys on the chamber stuff? None? Okay. Just leaving the nuisance abatement on here. The extension was given by that group until spring, and we don't have a definitive date, correct? In the spring of when that drop dead date is. So we'll just keep it on here until spring rolls around and we have the date so that we know when we need to start doing more things. Shelter house in Foot Park. Shannon's not here, so Rick, anything?
I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah. You have some time.
I don't.
Then we'll get going.
Yeah, yeah. We have a goal date of when it's gonna be up and
All of a sudden we'll be March and be like, oh yeah.
yeah, it's gonna stay on here, so you won't forget.
We'll get it.
Inwood apparel, Mark?
I've not done anything with it. Between holidays and cataract surgeries, I haven't done anything, so.
Fair, I'll leave it on there. I did send, Travis some, when I had talked about the apparel a year or two ago, whenever it was, We had talked to Jamie about getting some shirts and things like that, but then also talked about getting decals for the city equipment. And there's websites where you can order that, where they are either like stickers or magnets, which would be nice to have too, just so that you know, like, that's the city truck. I mean, everybody knows, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not super expensive. So now that we have a logo, that's something that we can look into too. Any other comments or questions?
Do we really want to clean the city tree up?
I do think though, like, as the conferences are coming up and things like that, that it would be beneficial to have the attire and for Jamie and Troy to have things also, as we have said, you know, over the last couple of years, it is nice if you're gonna be hopping into people's houses to have a City of Inwood something, or if we're going to a thing, you know, so. Yeah. North End, South End, tip update and land development. We just had a lengthy conversation with John. Do you guys have any comments or questions on that? The floor is yours.
I like the possibility of extending the Oak Street one to create some tip revenue sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
10 years, you can at least.
Yeah.
Gives you a start to
Mhm.
something, or if you have other projects you wanna do with that money, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be infrastructure, it can.
But the infrastructure is the most pressing.
Right, I just mean.
Yeah.
A completely different.
Right.
Project in that area.
Right.
If you're gonna amend it, you can add in your new area and any other area. you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was kind of, I was glad that he asked that question because it was surprising to me that would, you know, the other areas would still have their 20 years and that one still has its 10 years, even though they're, you know, you add them in, but it still works independently. I thought that was really a good distinction. And that's cool.
So if we shorten that by 10.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, no, that's huge.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering though, does he know that they're not conjoining? I wonder if that's gonna be the problem. Because you have to know a certain foot, you know, because they are not
Touching?
butting up against each other, yeah. Thought about that after you got off, I'm like, I wonder if there's a distinct, I don't know if that's something you can just email them, saying, hey, it's actually just square footage from here to here, not square footage, but I mean, the
Yeah.
distance,
Mm-hmm.
does it still qualify?
Mm-hmm.
If, as long as they're in the same urban renewal revitalization plan, the same plan, it should, you could include an area here and down there as long as it's in the same plan or not. I don't
It's in
know.
the same area,
So,
your project has to be done within that area.
so
Does that make sense?
But Mark is asking, like, if we wanted to say, if we got land over on the west side, can we amend
Mhm.
the,
Area
this, yeah, yes. To all of a sudden include a west side.
to just jump across town.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know, you can, I think they have to be contiguous, but I could be wrong.
So that's
That
the
could be
question.
old TIF stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's changed in the past 20 years, so.
Right. So that may be a non-starter then, if
Yeah.
that's the thing, you know what I mean? Because they don't touch.
Did you amend you amended your Inwood urban renewal area to include the Oak Street Station? So I don't know where else that area goes. Is that the rest of town? Or I guess I don't know. That's one thing I could find was a map that had that.
So the original area was, I
Fellowship
believe,
Village?
6 blocks of Main Street.
Okay.
And, yeah, a few years after that, we added Fellowship Village
Okay.
when they did the apartments.
Okay.
Because they pay property tax on the
Yep.
apartments.
Yep.
But not the nursing home.
Sure.
And that's it.
So currently, Oak Street Station is in your original area. So you could use those dollars for anything along Main Street in the 6 block as well. Right? I mean, it's in that area, so you could, yeah, if you wanted to add new to it, I don't want to say, do those all land all touch each other? I don't know. Okay, so maybe you don't have to then. So, good question.
I'll find out. Okay. Anything else? North and south side? Okay. Tree removals on hold, sidewalk repair plan. I gave us a deadline, January, to start having workshops. 'Tis January. Keep my promises. So we talked about this last year. Sidewalk repair, where people, so giving Laurel a history. There's a lot of bad sidewalks around Inwood. And it's on the property owner to take care of it if it's not a city, it's not the community center. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's hard because it's not always a priority for property owners, right? And they might have to take out a tree and they did all the things. So we investigated, I sent out an email and I got a whole bunch of great feedback from communities that have sidewalk repair plans. And they do all sorts of things. They do reimbursements. They do it's just a lot. There's a ton of options. So we said that's something that we want to do. And we put it on the calendar to pull some workshops together in January to decide how we want to tackle it, how to incentivize it and how to help people get it done. So you guys still have all those emails I sent you?
I never delete any emails.
I think you got your own separate folder.
I do? I feel so special. So I would, it is full. I'm maxed out capacity. So what I'd like to do is have us do homework, of course, ahead of time and review some of the options from the other communities, and then come together and use that as a working meeting where we are like, this is what I think Inwood should do. And this is how I think Inwood should do it. Because it always takes too much time, and our meetings are super full. And so having something, this is how we approached our building permit revamp, was a separate meeting. And it was very effective, so, yeah. So what I'd love to do is have a separate sidewalk repair meeting and we can talk about how we're going to steal another city's program and do it in Inwood. And hopefully, even if it does, just 10 property owners, that's awesome. That's those sidewalks will be.
Was that part of the review that we had hired that company to go on? Did we look at
The
that?
nuisance
sort of thing?
abatement.
Yeah, the nuisance abatement.
They didn't look at sidewalks.
Okay.
Nope,
So
So
is
that-
that on us?
it is on us.
Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yay, yeah. And I sent a picture, if you guys remember that, from somebody in Sioux Falls who had gotten like a door tag that said, we were walking around and we noticed that your sidewalk is not meeting code and is in violation and you have 6 months to get this taken care of. There was not an incentive. It was, you have 6 months to get this taken care of. Or we do it for you and we charge you. We don't need to do that. We can incentivize things and we can, offer reimbursements and stuff like that. We just need to decide what we want to do and how long we want to give people to do things and all that stuff. So, if you guys want to take a look at your calendars, we can throw out some options.
So will there be any sort of criteria if people want to try to fix it on their own? I know I was talking with some people in Sioux Falls, I know they had some that was risen up and some homeowners just decided to grind it down themselves. But I'm just curious.
That is the goal for the property owner
To
to,
take care of
They'll
themselves.
take, okay.
Yeah,
they can take care of it themselves or hire a contractor.
I'm just thinking, outside the box, like if I'm a homeowner that I'm just gonna get some quick creed, I'm gonna try it myself. but then it's not up to standards, or it still doesn't maybe look great.
There are standards that we have to follow in our code.
Okay.
So when you notice that sometimes they raise it up to the level of their yard, but then that creates a slope to the neighbors, dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, you get water, then you get ice. So part of the standards are to keep it level.
Couple questions on that. So, the highway then, were they all? They did
Curb
that,
cuts, yeah.
yeah. So is that still on the property owner then? Like, on the highway, the sidewalks on the highway, where they were redone however many years ago, that's all on the homeowners then?
Well, that is something that, you know, maybe the
Or is that,
city wants to accept some of the responsibility for getting that. And actually, I don't think there's more cost to it. It's just making sure that it's designed to be total ADA with the,
right,
what do they call that little pad they put in?
yeah,
Yeah.
that little, it looks rubbery, but it's not, it's plastic. And then Main Street curb,
It's bad.
it's horrible.
So it's on Jamie's list. Okay, it needs an overhaul.
Okay.
And that's something that the city's going to need to do. And we talked about last summer, maybe, him doing a whole inventory of the Main Street curbs and what it would cost to repair them all that are bad.
When snow removal was completed at one point, there was a big old chunk, I think it was busted up before snow removal, but there was a big old chunk across from the bank that I could see, and the bar gals were trying to like push it back into place, and, you know, so there's that. I think we need to look into that too, because it's really bad.
Maybe that's, so, I mean, we're just talking about TIF, and maybe that might be a renewal area, maybe we could use some of that money to do
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
sidewalks, curbs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does it have to be listed as a project though? In that,
You'll list it as a project in your plan.
in our amendment?
Yeah, and once you amend your area, so if you amend, so you have an area,
Yeah,
and that determines what's in that area, right? What pieces of property.
but he's saying
So if you
we
do,
currently have Main Street in a TIF?
but it's in an area, from my understanding.
Yeah,
And then in your plan.
Yeah.
That you will do each year, you will say, here's the projects you want to do. And so you would say, okay, maybe it's the sidewalks.
okay,
And it's, okay, we're gonna go into a contract with so-and-so company to do all 6 blocks of Main Street at $300,000.
so you just redo the plan every year?
Not always,
Oh,
some you do, some you don't, depends on if the project's done.
okay,
Or if you know you have a project, then you just need to certify your debt again, so you'll have to do debt probably every year unless you pay it all off.
okay,
It just depends
that's a good
on
idea.
what you have going on. Like he said, you can list a bunch of different projects, it's just now that you need to be more specific.
Okay,
Or in the past, you could say streets or sidewalks, but now they want you to say exactly what you're doing.
mm-hmm, okay. Nice.
So yeah, if you have 10 years left on your Oak Street station,
Mm-hmm.
So just because you list them doesn't mean you have to do them either, correct?
correct. That's just projects you might do.
But you have to show the depth to
Yeah.
certify it.
Right.
Mhm.
You have to have some type of contract or pay for something and then certify that project, and then that's when you start, you get money coming back.
Okay, dates. I know that January is busy, so you wanna go the first week of February?
Or last week of January.
Last week of January? Well, I there's a fire meeting on Monday, so that won't work for Rick. Tuesday, Wednesday is cadets, so Rick, you're in that, right?
No, I get there. I don't actually.
But you don't have to go?
No, I usually go to.
Oh, you go to Embrace though, right?
Yeah.
Further. So Tuesday, are people busy on Tuesday the 27th?
I'm busy on Tuesday, wrestling and basketball.
Oh, okay.
And then, Friday.
So January or February.
February then? Are you an EMT or no?
Am.
You want to do Monday then? Are people busy then?
Wrestling that night too.
You need to not have your children in so many things.
Just have too many children, they're all just one thing.
Okay, what about Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Oh, no, I can't do Thursday, there's band concert.
I could probably, I could make a Wednesday work. I could. Want to do like January 28th or something.
You want to do that? Does that work, Mark and Jordan, do you know? You don't know.
I get told week to week over again, so.
Laurel, does that work for you?
It does.
Okay, let's do that.
Should be good.
Okay. Sidewalk, I'll send out to bump it to the top of everyone's inbox, the stuff for you to look through. And then the ask is to come prepared with what you're thinking. And we can have a really productive dialogue about, this is what I think would be good for us. This is, and so that we can actually put some things down on paper for us to draft and then get ready to roll in the spring. Okay?
What time will that be?
What do you guys want? You want 6:30? You want 7? It's gonna take an hour. 6? 6 is fine.
6 sounds better.
Are you gonna bring me dinner? I'm just kidding. Carol always has cookies. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Anything in an ordinance or anything like that we need to make sure we don't trample on or?
We can resend the ordinance out. Yep. Can you resend that out? Or I can, or Travis can, the sidewalk ordinance that we currently have. And then I'm sure that we put some comments in there. Carol, you will have those comments from when we did the review. So just make sure those are incorporated into it. Okay. Oh, speaking of, so our city code review, we met with Chad, went through all of his chapters, took his feedback. He had a ton that were Iowa code that he couldn't do anything about. So his was not bad. It was pretty nice, actually.
This one sucks, that's Jordan. Well, I remember that next time. Chat.
I'm sorry. So what's next now, Carol? Does everything get packaged and given to them to go against the Iowa code?
I just gotta go back. I started it a couple weeks ago and then
Okay.
didn't get back to it again, but just kind of putting all the corrections, changes together and
Yeah.
send it on.
Okay. So that group we hired to put it all together, all of our changes that we reviewed and wanted to edit. And then they compare it against current Iowa code to make sure that's all updated and correct. And then it comes back to us and then we will look at it again and then we will vote on it and it will go into effect. So we still have a little while ahead of us with it. Okay?
So with that, since I just went to the training, so this should be like, are we supposed to review this every so many years? Every 5 years. Okay. So being on our city website at 2017, we're way past it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we add that to our agenda? So that we make sure that we do that every 5 years and start ahead of time so
I don't-
that we.
Don't think any of us knew that it was supposed to be reviewed every 5 years. Like I figured it out when I got to be mayor. So, yeah, so now it's on the list.
There was a lot of good information in the training.
Yeah, MLA, it's awesome.
Yeah. It was why they were,
Mhm.
so. Okay,
Yep, and it's been a labor of love.
I'm sure.
It's a long document.
Got more this week, three Zooms this week.
I see that. I don't know if I'll be able to make all of them, but the evening one.
So fun. Scooter ordinance, it's Rock Rapids, sent out theirs. I think I sent it to you, maybe. If not, I'll send it again. They want to make some changes to sidewalk versus road that we had previously had concerns with. So I don't know. We might still need to have some more conversations with our other communities, because I know we really wanted to align and try to be consistent across the board. But I don't know if we're gonna love what they ultimately decide. So, we're still talking about it.
Rock Rapids has their own 2 deputies, they can enforce their own.
Yeah,
Yeah, I figure if our county or
yeah,
cities go together, towns,
yeah,
at least that would be consistent.
so we're still talking about it. The mayors are gonna get together and record it now, so I'll have another conversation, yeah. Yeah. Land discussion, I have not had any additional conversations with anybody. I know that I had gotten some names written down, for properties who owns land on the east side of town, but I have not contacted anybody. Did you? Yeah. Anyone else contact anybody? Okay, so that's just there. And we'll continue to have those conversations as they come to fruition or as we have time. The downtown walk around, I submitted that and the results come on the 12th. So I'll let you know.
Can you explain
Yeah. So I can't remember. It was a solicitation for projects that were done in a downtown area that were revitalizing. They wanted pictures for some presentations that they were doing. So I talked to Back on the Rack, Rustic Oak, Farmers Market, and Manor Market. And sent pictures and got little blurbs and submitted all of that for them to consider. And then there were 2 winners of that. And if you're chosen, then you can have a free downtown walk around assessment, which the value is like $1,000. They come and they look at your downtown and give you feedback based off of what they see, where opportunities are for improvements, some strategies for any challenges that you might face, stuff like that. So it didn't cost anything, and why not? So it was fun to highlight the kind of changes that we've had downtown, because there's a lot that's been going on, so that was cool. Yeah. IISC, so we were on that call today. That was really good. Jen, Travis, and I, and then several other communities were also on the call, mayors from other towns. So, and the Lyon County Conservation Board Director. They are a program that has students who are in their capstone year at the University of Iowa, and they do projects for that year. They're usually planning projects and engineering projects. And so a community or a county or any entity can use them, partner with them to do 10 or more projects that they have. They ask for a commitment of, if you're doing a large project, of $50,000, which seems like a lot, but you can go into a partnership. So like Jen, when she and I had the first call, I reached out to them about the trail and potentially adding onto the trail and seeing how I could partner with them and work with them on that. It's a nominal fee if it's just one entity in one project. It's like $5,000 or less for all of their things that they do to make your project possible. They don't do the project. They plan and engineer the project. So they're your engineering fees, they're your consulting fees, they're all of that stuff. So you come away with a very done, bowed up thing. The idea that I loved is the partnership with the sister communities and like economic development, because Jen needs a housing assessment done and she got a quote for $40,000. I wanna have a trail, I wanna have that project. Lester wants a trail, Larchwood wants a trail, like, we all have projects that we wanna do, so you can cost share and get 10 or more projects completely packaged for you to be able to do. They do murals. Travis was on and got really excited and sent you guys the email about the murals that they do. So there's just the website, they've done it all. What they are able to strategize. It's a million different categories. It's not just trails. It's not just housing assessments. It's
Subdivision.
Did they have
Yeah.
a breakdown, like, let's say you partner with other communities, but we are only focused on a mural and the other communities want like 3 or 4 projects, like how that breaks?
we get to decide. So that was when Travis said, his name was Travis too.
Yeah.
When, like, he'll give suggestions. He'll say like, your mural's only gonna be $1,000. So the city of Inwood should only contribute $1,000 because that project isn't gonna take a lot of the, the work from these people. Rock Rapids wants this thing, that's gonna be, a large portion of it, so they should contribute $25,000.
I don't know if I heard him right, but I thought he made it sound like it'd be flexible possibility if you don't want to do 10, like where it could potentially be less projects and less than 50,000, but I don't know if I heard that right.
I didn't catch that, but he said that they're really flexible with their payment structure too. They can do like over extended amount of time, like they're very, yeah. So essentially what happened from the call is all of the mayors, all of the people got a ton of information and ideas and were encouraged to go check out their website and see if there's anything that could fit and that if this would be worthwhile to them. Because I think it'd be worthwhile if we can partner, because we can really, it costs lots of money for engineering fees and lots of money for other stuff that you need to do. So if you can have these students do it for a little bit, it's nice. So
I was curious, one question on that when I was watching.
Yeah.
Would there be any potential with the Riverboat helping fund that at all?
yeah, they said that they help with grants too. So their group can put together all of those documents that you need to be able to submit the grants. Because you have to have a very tucked in kind of grant submittal for most grants. Needs to be pretty finalized with what it's all gonna cost and et cetera, et cetera. So. Yeah, so we'll see what everyone has to say. Lester was excited about it, Larchwood was excited about it. So bring it back to you guys for consideration. Jen's excited about it.
Very.
So let me know. I know we have a long list of projects and they're all trying to get done at the same time. Sign near Oak Street, added that on so we don't forget about it. You said it's supposed to be fixed in the spring? Okay. Any comments or questions on that?
I'll just add that I'd be interested in watching that to maintain it, to be able to add stuff to it.
Sounds good. Okay, new business. Resolution 226, appointing and establishing compensation for our city attorney. Did you change his rates at all? I didn't see the contract.
Yes, they increased about $15 an hour.
We have a very good city attorney. He's very helpful. I've been very happy with him. And so I would entertain a motion for the resolution 226.
So moved.
Can I get a support?
Support.
Mark?
Aye.
Jordan?
Aye.
Laurel?
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
Resolution 226 carries. 326, does Laurel have to abstain? Okay.
Let me know.
No,
No, you just abstain
It'll
from.
be quick and
Yeah,
easy.
yeah, okay. 326, resolution naming Security Saving Bank as our depository.
Motion.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Support.
Thank you. Mark?
Aye.
Jordan?
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 326 carries. Mid-Sioux Opportunity, our annual donation of $1,000. Does anyone have any questions or concerns on that? No change? You understand what it's for? Okay. Property tax abatement agreements.
We need a motion.
Oh, sorry, I skipped over it. Motion,
I'll move.
thank you. Second,
Support.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Property tax for Scott, Marlowe, Emily, and Oakhurst properties. Any questions on those? None?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I'm going really fast, so I want to make sure you.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay.
Moving.
Yep. My mayor's appointments, so I have just a couple of changes. And I don't know if I have a copy of it or if I need to pull it up in my email. Pull it up in the email. Your cheat sheet? You got it? Oh, yes. All right, so Chad, thank you for your service. You are no longer on streets, so I am appointing Jordan to join Mark on streets. Thank you,
You guys
sir.
send a copy of this?
Yes, I will.
Will
Jordan will be joining Mark on streets. Mark is my mayor pro tem again. Thank you, sorry.
Not a problem.
Water and sewer is Rick and I still. Parks is Shannon and Rick still. Pool is Shannon and Mark still. Library is Jordan still. Community center, Laurel. I'm gonna ease you in. Community center is just a tiny one, so should be cinch. Buildings and equipment is Jordan and Rick still, and insurance and finance is me. Rick, you're gonna be on solid waste. Mark, you're gonna be the alternate. Okay? Any questions? Appointments are done every 2 years. So this is what it will be for the next 2 years.
You know, I kind of forgot to put on there, but January, maybe on the 14th is the landfill meeting.
Okay.
Who wants to go?
I'm out of the country, so I cannot. Can anyone go?
What time of day is that?
On Wednesday evening. Remember, they have a little dinner and then the meeting.
That's next week.
Just let me know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next, town hall. February date.
It's January this Wednesday.
The 7th at night. Saturdays are usually fairly well attended. I know that's hard maybe for wrestling and stuff. I'm gonna toss out doing the 21st of February. It's a Saturday. I'm here. Maybe is there anything on the calendar for West Lyon right now? That day? Anyone know?
I don't have anything on the calendar for that day.
Okay, I'm gonna
Meeting.
plan on the 21st. I'm gonna plan for 10 a.m. If you can come, come. If you can't come, that's okay. It's a great opportunity to talk with the folks in town, answer their questions, connect with them. I will be there. 221 at 10. Snow ordinance violation. Okay, so thank you so much, Travis, for drafting that. I think that's super helpful. Ours, currently in our code, does have towing. We don't have anyone to tow. I talked to Larchwood. They have someone who does their towing. Haven't been able to get in touch with them yet to see if they would be available to come and what to tow. But as we are redoing our ordinances and things, I talked to a couple other communities and they do not tow, they ticket. So I'm wondering if that's something that we need to consider instead of towing, just ticketing. Some are really nominal to start, like $15, $25, and then they give them a day or two to take care of it, and then it jumps significantly. I don't know what you're thinking and feeling, but just because of our struggles with the towing stuff, I'm wondering if we need to kind of abandon that.
I far prefer ticketing anyway.
Yeah,
It's so much less of a headache
yeah,
Because we don't have a place to
for us
Oh,
and them.
right. And we make every effort, like Travis posts on the website, and we try to call them to tell, move your vehicles, get them out of the way, all the things. So we wouldn't jump to, just slapping tickets on everybody without the due diligence first to try to make sure people are aware to move your car so we can plow. But do you have any, do you want to think about it on ticket cost? Because that's something that we can set. And then the timeline. You give them a ticket if it's not, within a day.
Right.
Then it's this much. You get a second ticket, it's this much. Anyone have any ideas, or do you want to? I'll entertain whatever you have to say.
Any ideas what other towns currently do?
Yeah, so the first ticket from Rock Valley was only $15. And then the second ticket was $50. Yeah. It was a jump. But they did give them 48 hours, which is a long time when you're talking about snow removal.
Right.
So like 48 and then 48.
No, they got a ticket within 24 hours. And then they had 48 hours to move it, and then it jumped to the $50 ticket.
I would say $25 first, then 50.
I mean, yeah.
I would agree with that.
How many vehicles do we typically see? Has Jamie said anything? Carol, has Jamie said, Travis, has Jamie ever said?
This year has not been bad.
Yeah.
This last one, remember, it was really questionable whether it was 2 inches,
No.
and then there were a couple.
Yeah.
But he also went out a whole lot earlier than we would have expected. We weren't aware that he was going out then, so people weren't aware.
I think it's important to post
Mm-hmm.
on the Facebook post when they're gonna start. That's helpful.
He's been really good about telling us, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start at 10.
Yeah.
Sends a message, and then I told Travis.
And then previously, they used to wait till after 2:00 in the morning,
Yeah.
and that helped clear a few cars off some streets, but,
It's just a change for people.
right.
Yeah. But we can be really intentional about communicating.
Yeah.
So 25 for the first ticket and then 50 for a second ticket if it's not moved. Do you want the 24 hours and then the 48 hours after the 24?
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
Or what do you think? Because you had
Yeah.
sent me that picture of that Snowden car in Sioux Falls.
Just, ticket was on there, but that car never did get towed.
It didn't?
Mhm. So that too is a hit or miss, because I've seen one get towed off the same street and down 3/4 of the block, there's another one I was thinking that did get towed. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for that, but I just,
Yeah.
No, I got no problem with that.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Can you draft, it'll be an ordinance change. Can you draft it? Okay. Thank you. Any questions on that? And then we'll have to vote on it. It'll be a resolution, so. Thank you. Not just as clear, or since we're not towing, we don't have a plan. So,
So that, snow ordinance, SOP and notice.
we'll amend it
Yeah.
after we do, yeah. So leave it as it is, because it's our current operating, how we are.
Yeah.
And just pray for no snow. Okay, fitness area. So I went and met with Paul and looked at the museum basement. It is an adequate space. It would work. So he's talking to the board. They had their December meeting canceled because of all the snow. Speaking of snow. So they're meeting on Thursday. He is not sure if they'll be okay with it or not. They were maybe gonna move their stuff back in there after they got all of it refinished and everything from the flooding. But he said, doesn't hurt to ask. So he's gonna ask them and they're gonna see. We talked through, how to move things in. We talked through cost and things like that. It's pretty chilly in there, because it just has one heating unit. But
You're working out.
it's fine. So we'll just see. I'll let you guys know what they decide after their meeting on Thursday. They did not want to discuss any fees. They would not want to do that. No cost to the city.
Yes.
That's not what it's for, is what they said. So thank you to the museum board for considering that. Open gym. So I had another conversation with the president of the Inwood Christian School Board today. They are not meeting until Monday, because they were all busy for the holidays and all those sorts of things. So they will meet next Monday and let me know what they are willing to do. He's very open to bringing it to his board to consider somehow working with us to have a gym open for kids to run around and play and expend some energy. So it would be, if that's something that his board is willing to consider, then we work through the specifics of like once or twice a week, what that would look like, if it would need to be supervised, if we would need, all of those questions need to be figured out. This is purely just to see if it's even on the table. So, but I don't know about you guys, but another year of no gym is really hard. So, thought I'd ask the question and it was met with open ears. So just letting you guys know. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know. City Hall. So Carol, Jordan, Travis, and I went and looked at the Alliance Communication Building. I had talked to them about potentially using their space for our City Hall. It's pretty small, their office space. It's wonderful that they're willing to consider working with the city and doing that, but it is a tight fit. And so I think we're going to look elsewhere, because I don't know that it would be really functional, unfortunately. So I called the Healing Room today, and they are willing to work with us. So anyone who wants to go, Randy would meet us there tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, or Friday morning. So if anyone is available the next 3 or so mornings and you want to go look and see if that space could work for 9 months, well, Carol and Travis are displaced.
I was pondering, this is just a random thought, but I was driving outside of town and I don't know if they'd be available or not, but Scott Lee's place, like I don't know if there's anything out there.
What place?
His old place by the hill, countryside doors.
Oh.
All those white buildings, there's a lot of empty space there, but
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're like, what's in them.
Our goal has been to try to keep you guys in town.
Yeah.
That's why we ended up not going with the old Hiller lumber where the library is, because we want to try to keep you in town as much as possible. But, I mean, you guys have looked at the city shop and kind of know what you're dealing with there too. So, if you have any ideas, every single person that I encounter, I ask in the street or wherever, who has an idea about a place that City Hall could go? Who has an idea about? So leave no stone unturned. And if you have a suggestion and you want me to follow up on it, I'm happy to.
So the city shop is not an option then?
It is, it's kind of our last option,
Okay.
Laurel.
Yep.
Because it's not ideal.
Right.
It's not ideal.
Because that's just the little meeting room that was in there. right?
Yeah. And it's loud, I mean, like, it's loud and Jamie's working on all this stuff and they're trying to do their phone calls and all their, it's not awesome.
Yep.
So,
Little smelly. We already had discussions about fumigating it. I was gonna bring in an air purifier for a couple months.
Starting now.
Shampoo the carpet.
so we're trying to think of other options, that would be possibilities. And just,
It's doable.
yeah, so it's there.
Paul Kipley's other side of his building isn't open?
I actually asked him, it is small. It's small.
Oh,
I'd say it's smaller
And
than
he
Alliance.
uses it.
oh, okay.
What about this dialing center?
We looked at that. Mhm.
It's bigger than Alliance.
It is bigger than Alliance,
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
great
bit,
idea.
a little
I
bit.
like that idea. I
Sherry-
haven't been in
Sherry
there,
Henning's
so.
place.
Yep, and she's was willing, so it is little, it's, it's
No
a,
room for council.
yeah, it's a small space. So, keep thinking about it, keep brainstorming, coming up with suggestions, let me know if you have anything. And we'll keep asking questions. And that's that, next meeting, anyone, okay, Mark, anything? Travis, anything? Jordan, anything? Carol, Laurel, Rick, Jen? No? Okay, next meeting, February 9th, 6:30. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Second? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Is the game still going?
It was in the third about half an hour ago,
Oh.
probably in the fourth now.
Thank you all.
It's in the fourth.
Is it?
It's getting better.
Isn't that fun? Look at you. You want me to take a picture with it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think it should go on Facebook. Yes.
You know what? I was thinking